Thoughts on stud conversion kits for RS3s for regular track duty? Absolutely. We offer studs. We're coming out with a new line of really nice studs, what I feel are like the best on the market. Studs on track cars are great because it allows you to easily and quickly swap wheels and tires without having to try to line up the factory bolts. No, it's the way to go. I think most cars should have studs anyways. I prefer studs on any of my cars. But definitely when you're on track, it's nice. As far as strength goes, it's not really an issue.
There's not really a difference there. Yeah.
There is the added benefit though of like, God forbid, if you didn't torque your bolts or your nuts, once the bolt falls out, your wheel falls off. There's not saying this is like a sure
this
thing.
Isn't the reason for
this
it.
isn't the reason, but if all your nuts fall off your studs, you're gonna have like maybe a couple seconds of the wheel kind of bouncing around on the stud, and you're gonna feel that.
If somehow all the nuts come off, yeah.
Yeah, and the wheel doesn't just go flying. You know, at the first
emergency
moment.
wise, there's also generally a lot more thread that the nut would have to back off of.
Yeah, you'd feel it
before you have an issue.
You start feeling things
before your nut exits the building.
But you know, God forbid you're running a factory bolt with any type of spacer, and you've only got like 3 or 4 threads engaged.
That shouldn't be done anyway.
You shouldn't do that.
Don't do that.
So many people do.
Yes.
That's a recipe for disaster. So that's the other nice thing about studs is you want to do a 5mm if you have the right length stud. Say you get our 2.5-inch studs. You want to do a 5mm spacer. You want to do 10mm. You want to do 7.5. You want to do 12. It doesn't matter. The studs will accommodate any kind of spacer arrangement you have on there up until they don't. But bolts generally aren't that forgiving. You need kind of a bolt for a spacer.
Yeah, because the problem is you can't run a longer bolt.
Yeah.
You end up pushing it through the spindle or through the hub into the spindle. And you start contacting metal, which is very close behind.
You
the
remember
spindle.
what would happen on like 4000s and B3, B4s?
The self-clearancing problem behind there, yeah.
You'd like, oh, this wheel bolt's like an extra 1/2 inch long. Tighten it up. You go for your first drive, and it's like ka-chung, 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 and it's just like hitting like I think it was a brake caliper carrier.
It was
just like tearing itself apart.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was like casting nubbins that you're removing.
And then your bolt's all messed up and you can't get it out.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Then it could even like take out your hub.